Good morning. This is Sonny Moyers coming to you from my studio in Prosper, Texas. I'm going to be talking today about a concept that I introduced or talked about on a podcast that I did with Joe Domino. The podcast was just a really interesting discussion with Joe. And I mentioned in that podcast that the client relationship between a realtor and a client must survive closing. This concept I write about in my book, The Architecture of the Real Estate Practice, and we were talking about what that means to have the client relationship survive closing. And this applies to any client relationship in a business such as a professional services company, insurance agent, title company representative, and an agent. Any relationship like that, it must survive closing. And what I meant by that was that most people believe that when they have a realtor help them or a broker help them, that the relationship is going to be for maybe a one-time event. I'm moving to Prosper, Texas, and I need an agent to help me find a home and close on that home. Or if I'm in Prosper and I want someone to help me sell a home. So when we're talking about the client relationship surviving closing, most home owners and buyers of homes believe that the relationship between the agent is an event that has an ending. In other words, you meet someone, you interview with them, they like you, you talk about the services you provide, you maybe talk about what you're going to provide them and what the costs are going to be for that services that you provide, which by the way are negotiable in most cases. Maybe you make your presentation. There is a point at which a decision is made, and then you go through the process of helping them find a home, and they go to closing, and the home is closed. They found their home, they've purchased their home, and now the relationship is kind of over. You know, the representation agreement that an agent signs has an end to it. It doesn't have a representation agreement that goes infinitum to the future. It really has an ending. And so when that date comes to the end of that relationship, which could be closing or it could be a date, then the fiduciary relationship between the agent and the client is essentially ended. Now, what the real estate agent must be able to do is create such a relationship that relationship survives closing. In other words, after the closing, the client still believes that they have a relationship with you of trust and confidence, and that you're going to be able to help them in the needs that they have. Now, some will think that they have a relationship with you about that house, but they don't really see it as a relationship that survives closing, and that you'll continue to provide them guidance, support, and things of that nature, not only about the home that they bought or sold, but about other matters related to real estate. So it's a very important concept for an agent to understand, that the relationship with the client, in order to have a relationship that survives the test of time, meaning over a period of years, the agent has to convince the client that their relationship with the agent is of such value that the agent needs to be involved in their lives going forward. And that allows the agent to have a relationship with a client that survives closing for many as 10, 15, 20 years. And that's a very important concept for the real estate agent or any person who's building client relationships to understand. One, the client perceives that the relationship is of such value that they need to continue the relationship after the product or service has been provided. That's an essential to long-term client relationship. And that's part of the fundamental concepts of a client management program. And so, Judy, when we're talking about building those kinds of relationships, the goal of the agent is to have the client trust them and believe that they want them involved for the future, into the future. And that builds the opportunity for long-term relationship referrals. And probably most importantly, it gives the opportunity for the client to open up their window to see their sphere of influence. And that sphere of influence is their friends, their associates, their other company personnel, their people they know who might want to do business. And if it's done properly, the client relationship is such that the agent builds such a relationship that the client not only will refer people, but will want to refer people because they will want that friend, associate, or someone in their sphere of influence, someone they know, to benefit from the relationship that the agent has demonstrated that they have with the client. And that is very important to building a long-term relationship of numerous referrals and opportunities. So in this talking, let me give you an example about a particular client who was Ali. Ali became a client of ours, and of course when they sold their home and bought a different home, the representation agreement ended. It ended at the time of closing on the home that they purchased for the future. Now, the relationship had been built very strongly, and Ali referred us to his associates and friends. And even though Ali was no longer looking to buy or sell a home, in fact, over 15 years, he has not sold his home or bought another home. He hasn't purchased an investment property. He hasn't done anything that would cause you, an agent, to want to continue to do business with him other than opening up the sphere of influence to us to allow us to connect with numerous other people within his enterprise of relationships. He happened to be a very great connector, and as a connector, he knew people, and people liked him and they trusted him. And as a result, when he referred us, they trusted us, and that gave us the inside track to building a future relationship. Ali was instrumental in referring us numerous people, and we've had a long-term relationship with Ali and his wife and the family. His children are now in college, and we've helped his parents. We've helped numerous other people that he's referred to us, and it's been a great relationship. So back to the very concept of client relationship must survive closing. The representation agreement expires. It goes away. But that doesn't mean the client relationship goes away. And even though the client may think that it's over, the goal of the agent is to have such a relationship that when the closing happens, the client still wants to communicate and do business with you. Now, they don't really expect that for the following 5 years after you close on a property, that they're going to be getting email, text messages from you hounding about buying or selling a home. In fact, they believe the relationship is much more of a friend and a confidant than as a realtor trying to sell them another property. So it's not a sales push that keeps the relationship going. It's providing benefit and value such that the client perceives that they need to have an ongoing relationship above and beyond the fact that they like you. Of course, they have to like you and want to do business with you. But that's the concept of the client relationship must survive closing that I talk about in my book, The Architecture of the Real Estate Practice, which unfortunately we've had to delay our launch of the book until February of 2024. We wanted to make the book perfect. Of course, it's 150-something thousand words, so it's never going to be perfect. It's 40 chapters and quite complex, but it will be out in February, and until the meantime, you can go to realestatebook.org and put your name on the list to be notified when the book is ready to go, and we can send it to you. We'll be doing a launch party. We'll be doing some book signings and give you an ample opportunity to come by and talk to us and get a book signed. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and If you like this video and what I've been teaching, then please subscribe to our channel, and please get in touch with me if I can answer any questions or help you in any way. God bless and have a great day. Bye-bye.